everyone. Welcome to a calming, grounding practice. We're going to stay close to the floor today and just enjoy how our body's feeling and be gentle in our movements. So I invite you to sit on a blanket. If you have a blanket you want to roll up and sit underneath. I like sitting on a block. I sometimes sit on a block with a blanket over the top of it. Just find a place where you can sit comfortably, and we can begin with some nice breathing and connecting through our sits bones. Wide seat here, feeling your spine lifted. Just getting a sense of the support of the earth coming up to meet those parts of your body that are touching the earth. So as we breathe in, we begin to just notice it a little more. Taking some full breaths. Expanding into the lungs, into the back of the heart area. Just noticing what's coming up for you today as you sit tall and ground through your sit bones, your leg bones. Feeling the earth supporting you. You're gradually quieting your mind as you're closing your eyes, turning a little more inward, bringing your awareness down to the earth, to the touch point of your body in the earth. And imagine breathing into that space. Even though we know our breath doesn't move all the way down to our feet or our sit bones, but we can use our imagination here to expand the awareness of the breath. Feeling supported. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And let's bring our hand to our heart and to our belly. Noticing the belly expand on the inhale, and then expanding into the lungs, the chest. And then as we exhale, we draw the belly in, squeezing the old air out. Expanding the belly on the inhale. Breathing in all the wonderful, supportive oxygen into our body. And maybe breathing out things that we don't need to have holding on in our body. We don't need the tension. We can let that go on every out breath. Let go of the questioning, perhaps for just this time that we're together, wondering what's happening, wondering what to do about it. Just be with the moment as it is right now with your breath. And think about bringing your awareness into the heart space. Softening into the heart space. Maybe thinking about someone who you love, someone who needs support these days as we are all sheltering at home. But we can send our connection, our love to whoever and wherever they are. whether they're here in our own home or across town, across the world, or even someone who has passed from this plane of existence. Breathing in and knowing we are so connected right now. Practicing with the many others who are here with us, who have joined together today. Now let's release our hands down to our thighs. And we're going to move into a side stretch and then hinging forward and then coming over to the side again and then lifting up the crown of the head to the ceiling. And I call these Sufi rolls as we roll around, noticing how the hips feel, how the low back might be feeling. If we have any tension in there, see if we can breathe into it and release it. And let's go the other direction. Just noticing how your body is, remembering that we let go of expectations when we're practicing, judgments about our body, about what we can or cannot do. We just begin to be more present with what is available to us today. Just for today, let's just see how we are today. And one more circle around as we come to a sitting tall posture, relaxing our shoulders down. Good. Softening our face. Maybe we have a smile on our face, letting go of some of the muscles of worry. Let's begin to roll the shoulders. Nice big circles, pressing forward, up and back and down. Just enjoying the movement of the shoulders. And if we have some limitations, if we're healing through our shoulders or wherever in our body, we remember that we just move in a pain-free range of motion. And we rest whenever we feel we need to, which is fine. Let's reverse this direction and roll the shoulders the other way. So we practice ahimsa of non-harming, being gentle to the body, saucha contentment with what is, not striving, not forcing, not pushing, just allowing. And we come back to our center. Again, sitting tall, let's just take a couple breaths here and notice our body now after we've moved a little. And reach the right arm out to the side. You can walk it out or just reach it out. If it's floating, that's okay. We're going to sweep the other arm up and over and reach out, but lift up with the left hand. Right arm reaching out, left hand reaching up. And of course you can modify this if you're healing a shoulder, just coming to whatever place is best for you. Maybe it's cactus arms, maybe it's hands on your shoulder. Okay. Whatever feels right for you today. Stretching through the left rib cage. And we come back to center. Relax the shoulders down. Notice. We're going to sweep the left arm out to the side and right arm up and over the head slightly. Lifting into the right arm towards the sky and feeling a wonderful stretch through the right rib cage as we breathe. Squeezing into the left side and stretching through the right side body. And let's come back up and relax the arms down. We're going to tilt the chin down to the chest. Melting any muscle tension through the neck. Maybe it would feel good to turn your head right and left here. And then let's lift the chin parallel to the floor. We're going to draw the right ear to the right shoulder, allowing this left shoulder to reach down, the right shoulder to reach down as well. And imagining our left ear reaching for the ceiling. We might even sweep our right arm up and over the top of our head and hook it maybe right behind our ear, and just with a very, very gentle pressure, feeling that stretch. You might even press up against the hand slightly as the hand presses to the head. Just a little bit. And release. Bring your head back to center and notice for a moment. Yes. And on the other side, we're going to bring our left arm up and over our left ear towards our left shoulder. Our right ear towards the ceiling. And we breathe and release into this stretch through the neck. Gentle pressure with the hand, very gentle. You might not even want to put this pressure on your head. That's up to you. And you could even press up slightly into the hand as the hand presses against the head. And then relax all the way. And then let's release the hand and bring the head back to center. Good. Just shaking it out a little bit. While we're here, let's reach the arms back behind us. We have a nice tall spine here. We're shining the heart up. We reach back and lower the arms down like we're holding a big beach ball here, okay? Let me turn to the side. You might be able to see a little better. So I'm going to reach my arms back. I'm going to stay up tall, lower my shoulders down. So it is, I'm going to hug in here, hug into the low belly, reaching back. An upper back bend here. You could even, if you'd like to, clasp your hands. This is another option, straightening your arms and rolling the shoulder blades back. Stay engaged in the belly so you have a nice core strength here. We don't want this to move into the low back. I'm going to stay nice and strong through here. Maybe you'd like to come forward in this shoulder stretch. Get a low back stretch as well. And then come back up. Let's release those hands. Shake them out. Wiggling the fingers, stretching the fingers wide. Wiggling the fingers, stretching them wide, back and forth. Let's make a fist and wide fingers in a fist and wide fingers, a fist and wide fingers. We breathe in as we bend the elbows. Fists come back towards our shoulders. And we exhale as we reach our hands out, palms up. Inhale. Exhale. And let's release the arms down. Rotate the shoulders, wiggle through the waist a little bit. Good. Sweep the arms up, reaching tall. Exhale, hands over to the left side with a nice tall back. We're going to just look over the left shoulder. Into a rotation in the spine. You can go just very gentle rotation. We're never pushing ourselves or forcing into this place. We use the abdominal muscles to hold us using the core, not just abdominal, but transverse abdominis, all the back muscles. And then we're going to sweep the arms up and look up at the hands. A little bit of a back bend here. And exhale over to the right side. Turning, looking over your right shoulder, chin is parallel. My dog Sam has the right idea of just resting and hanging out. And sweep up. And one more time to the left. And lift up. Inhaling here. And a nice exhale to the other side. Noticing where you feel this twist. How can you bring your breath into any of the areas that feel tight? Expanding into those areas, using your breath. You know, yoga is so important when we're practicing it to use the breath and yoke it to the mind and the body. And we'll come back to center. Just take a little notice how you feel. And then I invite you to come down onto the floor on your backs. And just make yourself comfortable on the floor. Let the muscles begin to melt along the spine. You can bend your knees here. Maybe you would like to walk your feet wide on the mat and allow the knees to bend in and touch each other. And the arms can be out to the side, just at an angle, relaxed angle with our palms up. Taking a few breaths here and feeling the support of the earth, Mother Earth, holding us safely. Breathing in and letting go of that which you don't need, that which you've been carrying around, the burden, the weight. Set it aside just for now. Let the back of your neck melt, your jaw be loose. We're just noticing right now how the back feels on this hard surface. Shoulder blades are wide and resting. You feel the pelvis, the hips sitting on the mat. Let's allow our feet to come together, our knees together, and just allow them to roll to the left. You can relax them down wherever they go. Then turn your head to the right. We'll just get a little stretch into the hip and the low back. Lifting the knees back to the center, feet on the mat. We lower the knees over to the other side and turn our head the opposite direction. Keeping the shoulders wide, shoulders on the mat. Notice if there's a difference between your right side and your left side. I know that for mine there's a big difference. One side's much tighter than the other. Breathe into those very tight spaces. Fill the lungs, and on the exhale, empty it all out. We're going to bring the knees back to center. Let's take our left ankle and place it on our right knee. And you can stay right here. If this is enough stretch into the left hip over here, stay right here with your right foot on the floor. And you can press this left knee away from you. You can use your hand with a very gentle pressure, or just press the knee away from you. And we should have this ankle, our left ankle, flexed so it stays strong here and it doesn't wobble around. And if you would like to, we can lift this right leg, lift the knee and bring it in, pressing against the ankle, feeling more of a stretch in our left hip. You can use your arms and place them around the right thigh if you'd like, holding that. And just experiment with rocking very gently, just maybe an inch or half inch one direction and then the other direction, and find the place that's best for you, for the sensation of your left hip stretch. Breathing. We're letting the head stay low and relaxed. This feels good. Let's release that right foot down, place the left foot down as well. And we're going to bring the right ankle to the left knee now. And again, find the best position here for your knee, whether you're putting just a gentle pressure on it with your hand, your right hand, or whether you're simply flexing the ankle and pressing the knee away from you with the power of your muscle of the knee, of the leg. And breathe here. Relax the shoulders if you can. Notice if you're bringing tension into any other part of the body, and breathe into that and release it. And then another option to go a little deeper is to lift this left leg off of the floor, the left foot, and draw that knee in towards your body. Stretching into the right hip, and rocking ever so gently left and right just to find the best place for you here. The best sensation. Breathing. And let's release that foot back down on the mat. We're going to walk our feet in just a little ways towards the buttocks. Hands are coming down alongside the legs with our palms down, getting ready for our bridge pose where we begin to lift from the sacrum, the base of the spine, and we lift slowly each vertebra off of the mat. Lifting high, just as high as you'd like to go. And slowly returning to the mat. Slowly, slowly we come back. And lift again from the sacrum, rolling up through each vertebra. Pressing into the feet, allowing the earth to be pushing up against our feet, supporting us. If you'd like to, let's bring the arms straight up towards the ceiling, and we can continue them all the way down. Move my block here. There we go. And we reach the arms back up towards the ceiling as we begin to lower down, and the hands come down alongside our legs. Coming down at the same time. We'll try that again. Lifting. Arms begin to rise as well. Overhead. Continuing to the floor, over our head as we come into our highest expression of this pose. We're noticing our quadriceps working, our glutes working. We're breathing here. And exhale, the arms come back up and lower down alongside the body. Good. Let's just notice while we're lying here. Notice what that pose did, that movement through the spine. We're going to draw our left knee in towards the chest, hug it in, and let's extend our right leg out. You can bring your hands under the knee if you like that better, or they can come over the knee. We're just going to rock it back and forth, opening the knee out to the side and lifting up and bringing across the body slightly. Just moving it in that way, noticing how the hip feels, that hip socket. Back and forth. Good, and let's release that foot down and bring the right knee in. Just exploring this movement. Opening to the side, coming back to the center and across, opening to the side, back and forth. And we're going to replace that foot down and lengthen the leg. And just notice here. Pausing. Let's reach the hands over our head on the floor, sliding them along the floor, and press the heels towards the opposite wall, flexing the feet, reaching the fingertips, hollowing out the belly. Nice big stretch. Let's clasp our hands here and move our body, our arms and our head and chest kind of into a C, kind of rolling a little bit into a C here. The letter C, stretching through the side body. Take a couple breaths. And we come back to center. And let's move the opposite direction. A C going the other direction. Notice how that feels different or similar. Breathing. It's a big stretch through the rib cage and the muscles in the rib cage. And we come back to center. Lower the arms down, let them relax with our palms up for a moment. We're going to bring our feet up towards the ceiling and rotate our ankles. Knees can be bent here. Point and flex, and point and flex. Back and forth with the feet. Let's do the same with our hands as we're here. So we're going to bend them forward and back, and forward and back. And let's rotate hands and ankles in the other direction. And shake, shake, and be kind of like a rag doll, so the hands are not reaching stretched up like this. They're just soft with gravity, and we just jiggle. Get the fascia softened or loosened up perhaps a little bit. Get some of the synovial fluid moving through the spine, all the way up from the head to the tailbone. Yes, good. And let's just relax the feet down, the arms down. Notice. Full breath in, long, slow exhale. Bringing our hands behind our head, we can interlace the fingers or simply just press into the head to support the head and neck. We're not going to be bending the head up. We're going to be lifting the head with wide elbows here. And while we do this, we're going to be lifting head, pressing low back into the floor, and releasing. Head comes down, we soften in the belly. We press the low back in, we lift the head, engaging the abdominal muscles, and release. And engage, and release. Engage, and release. Exhale, inhale down, exhale up and squeeze, inhale down. Good. Let's bring our hands behind our head with our elbows bent now. And we're going to scissor our feet and our elbows. So our feet are going to be floating, but we're going to be going back and forth between each leg. So we're going to reach one leg forward and we're going to reach for the opposite knee. And then we switch and switch and switch. Find a rhythm with your breath. Good. And we let go, we lower the head, we relax the body back to the floor. And feel the warmth that we've created. Good. From here, I invite you to come up to a sitting pose with your legs out. We're going to place our hands behind us with our fingers pointing towards our feet. Our arms are going to be underneath our shoulders, about shoulder width. Our knees will bend, keeping our feet about hip distance wide. And we're going to come into tabletop to the best of our ability. So we lift up, lifting through the glutes. We can look up at the ceiling here, or we can gaze across the top of our body. Take 2 more long breaths here. We release ourselves back to the mat and lift the feet and reach the arms. Boat pose. Coming back to tabletop, we lift again. Good. Lowering down, we move into boat pose. Let me show you some modifications for that boat pose. So you could be here with your feet on the floor, leaning back, hands under your knees. So you have to engage the abs here for this. You can experiment with one knee up and then alternate the other knee up, sitting tall like this with a long spine. The other one, you can bring both knees up, the feet are parallel to the floor, and you can hold here if you'd like. Or you can come into full boat. Woo. So play with that a little bit and see which way you like it the best. Let's do a couple more of those. At your own pace, with your own boat. And last one. Good. You can come and sit tall here. Notice how that feels. Let's move over onto our hands and knees now. So we're going to place our hands shoulder width apart. Knees are hip distance apart. I'm going to just extend this right toe out. Move up on my mat a little bit. I'm going to extend the right toe out. Gather in the belly here. Reach with the left arm. And if you would like, lift that right leg, pressing through the heel for spinal balance. We keep our head and neck long, looking down on the mat. We're breathing here, breathing in and out. And let's bring the hand and the knee back at the same time. Attempting to stay stable through the hips. Let's extend the left toes out, reach up with the right arm, gather the belly, lift in through the pelvic floor. And if you choose to, you can certainly stay here, or you can come up, press that heel back, extending long through the fingertips, all the way through the spine and down the leg to the heel. Lots of dynamic energy. Our eyes stay on the mat, so we're in nice alignment. Feel the strength you have here. And let's attempt to stay stable through the hips as we bring the hand and knee back at the same time. Now I invite you to just experiment with this and flow with it with your breath. So as we reach out, we inhale, coming to the place that's best for you, and we exhale back to the mat. Switching sides, and you continue in that way, feeling the strength, the stability, the balance. And the next time you come back to the mat, let's sit back towards child pose now. And this, you might want to have a block here. You could place your head on a block at whatever height you like best for your child pose. Or you could sit all the way down with your head on the floor. Let's take a few breaths here. Closing the eyes. Taking a scan of your body. Where do you notice any tension showing up? See if you can release it a little bit at a time. Maybe by relaxing a little deeper into that space, or breathing out a little longer on your exhale. Let's reach forward with our hands, wide fingers, straight arms, into extended child pose. If you have a block here, let's just move it out of the way, off to the side of the mat. And we're going to inhale and come forward into plank pose, kneeling plank with our knees down. Exhaling back to child pose. Just plant our hands on the mat and leave them there so that we can be strong and stable. Let's inhale forward over the top of the hands. And exhale, warming up through the shoulders. My dog is just watching us. Sam. Good. And this next time we come forward, let's exhale down, bringing the elbows into the rib cage. Slowly we lower all the way to the floor. Bring the forehead down onto the mat. Arms are on either side. And from here, we lift up, bring forearms down onto the mat. This is cobra, baby cobra. Feet are wide on the mat, tops of toes are pressed into the floor. Good. Let's bring our hands back towards our chest, press in and sit back to child pose. Inhale forward, kneeling plank. Exhale to the floor, baby cobra. We can place the forearms on the mat again and be long through the spine. Back of the head is elongated. Our chin is tucked in some. Find the stillness in your mind and your breath with the strength and the support of the earth under you, the great connection here through all the parts of the body that are touching the earth. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's bring our hands back towards our chest on the floor next to our chest, and we lift up and sit back to child pose once again. This time, let's step forward with our left foot into a lunge. Okay. We can reach one arm up if we'd like. We could reach both arms up if we'd like. Okay, yeah. Good. And notice that you have a nice alignment with your knee over your ankle here. Your back leg back a little ways. Getting a nice stretch right here in this hip flexor on the left. And let's straighten this leg. Lift the toe off of the floor. And we just kind of come into a runner's lunge, lengthening through the back of this leg. The right leg here. And one more time into the lunge. This time we're going to reach our hands behind us and roll the shoulder blades back. Be careful not to dump all of this weight into your low back here. So draw in the belly safely, being strong through the core. Roll your shoulder blades back. Good. Yes, this is energizing, this kind of a back bend, very energizing. Legs are getting warmer. And we're going to release and straighten this leg again one more time. As we stretch through the back of that leg. And let's tuck that leg underneath us. Sit back down into child pose. Your choice, maybe you have your hands stacked under your head or blocked there perhaps. Take a few breaths, relaxing and noticing. This is our earth grounding practice, bringing us into each moment as we experience it.
Noticing how when we focus on our breath, it will bring us into the moment that we're in. It helps the mind to have something to follow, to hear that breath, to recognize that all is well in this moment. And from child pose, we lift up. I'll turn this way. You don't have to turn, but I'm going to turn. And then I'm going to step forward with my right foot. Excuse me, this is my left foot. And then I'm going to lift up. Feeling a nice stretch through the right hip flexor now. Aligning my knee and my ankle on the front leg. Allowing the shoulder blades to come down. Straightening the spine, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then again, we can reach the arms up one at a time if you'd like. Or you can reach both up, remembering to draw the belly in and hug in back here. Release the hands down. Let's clasp them behind us and straighten them down the back. Rolling shoulder blades back. Again, we still stay supported through the low belly. Yes, very nice. Feeling energized through the heart. Excited for whatever's going to be here. Whatever creativity we decide to move into in our life. And let's release the hands and come back to child pose. No. Breathing here in child pose. Reaching our hands forward here into extended child pose. Lift up and over the top of those hands. Kneeling plank. We're going to roll the toes under and begin to lift the knees off of the mat as we press down and back into our down dog. You can pedal the feet if you'd like, pressing one heel down, the other heel down, stretching through the hamstrings and the backs of the calves. Wide fingers are on the mat, pressing through especially the first two fingers and in through the thumb. Head comes towards the floor. Long spine. Inhaling into plank pose. Exhaling into down dog. Inhaling into plank. Exhaling into down dog. And you can also move into inhaling into kneeling plank. Exhaling into child pose. Let's do two more flows here with your choice of movement. We come to all fours again. From all fours, we're going to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling And exhale that right hand down and slide it underneath our left arm, bringing the head down to the mat. We turn and look towards the left. Sliding this hand back out, placing it on the mat. We're going to move to the other side as we sweep the left arm up. Exhale and slide it under. And sliding this hand back in. Let's do that again on each side. Inhale, look up. Exhale, right hand comes down and underneath the left. This time let's reach the left arm out over the head. Straight arms, both of them straight arms, reaching, lengthening through the spine. Close your eyes and breathe here. We bring the overhead arm back towards our face and sweep the right arm back into place. Circling the left arm up and sliding it through. I can't really do that very well on this side because my microphone gets in the way. The right arm now moves out overhead, straight arm. Breathing here. And bring the overhead arm back down and sweep the left arm back onto the mat. Good. Let's come back down onto our backs, please. Our arms become wide on the mat. Wide heart open. Let's lower the knees over to the right. Turn our head to the left. And come back to center. And legs to the left and head to the right. This should have a nice stretch through each side body. And come back to center. I invite you now to, if there is any other pose that you would like to do before you're ready for final relaxation, I invite you to do that, whatever that might be. If you're ready for final relaxation, you can come down onto the mat and straighten your legs if you like. Or perhaps you would like them bent, maybe your feet wide and your knees bent in towards the center to support them. Whatever your final relaxation might look like, you're welcome to find it when you're ready. Maybe you would like a blanket over you. And we breathe in. Breathe out a little slower. That Ujjayi breath, the whispering breath. everything to relax, any tightness to begin to melt, to surrender. And letting go of any gripping in the body, shoulders softening. Surrendering ourselves to Mother Earth. She can hold us safely, protect us, provide for us, and shelter us. If you're ever anxious or worried or sad, just get close to the earth. Lay down and just give it up. Give up any worries that you have, just for the moment. We've set aside those worries and those concerns and those weights that we've been carrying around. We set those aside at the beginning of practice. They're still sitting here in a little box here right next to me, my imaginary box. And I think I might just leave them in there and not pick them up again when I leave. Just lighten my body a little bit more. We begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes now. Maybe taking a big breath in and letting the breath go with a sigh. And then we can make our way to a comfortable seated place where we can close our class. Bring our hands to our heart. And in a sign of respect, we say Namaste. And thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day.